What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. My name is Pansy, and today we are checking out the seasonal server, and I'm going to be sharing some tips and tricks with you guys about what you should do in seasonals, what you should do after the seasonal, and things to keep in mind, just to set you up for success if you're new to the game and just coming into the game now. We're going to be talking about a few things today. So obviously gear is the main thing when you're on the seasonal server, and getting your gear to full pen Tuvala is your end goal, because you want to walk out of here with the most out of the season, right? So maxing out your gear is important, but there's a few things that you want to remember. Like, for example, seasonal characters can't use Kaposha accessories, but we get Kaposha accessories for leveling up. Those are base rewards given by the game, and you can skip a few items based on that as well, just by leveling up your character. So that's okay. But other things are, like, you want to make sure you learn how to make money in this game, because this game is all about making money. All the gear progression in this game is going to be from you making money, or you buying the materials to tap an item, or just straight up buy it. So I'll get you guys started off on like some of the easy ways to start making money in the beginning. But before we do that, just wanted to give you guys a little rundown on, if you're new to the game and you're trying to decide which class to play, the best way to go about picking a class to play is going to be playing a class that you enjoy. So you want to decide what kind of play style you like. So if you're someone who likes to play a caster, or someone who wants to play an assassin style class, there are many options in each one. Like casters, there's only 3, but if you want to play an assassin style, then you got ninja, you got kuno, you can play Musa and Meiwa, you can play Awakened Lan. I mean, they're all different in terms of their playstyle, but you can at least, narrow it down a little bit. Definitely go make trial characters, go try them out. If you don't know what trial characters are, you go to character select screen on the top right. You'll see a tab for trial. You can make a character there, which can only enter the battle arena and red battlefield, but it starts you off with gear. It starts you off at level 60 with all the skills unlocked. You can unlock all of your skills and try it out. So in terms of picking your class, pick the class that you have fun. Pick the class that looks cool, that's appealing to you. Don't worry about it. If I had to say one thing I regret, was ignoring life skills entirely. I'm like, I don't want to do life skills. I'm just going to grind. I'm not going to do anything life skill related. I really wish I wasn't like that, because there is a few easy to do things that you can do to make money. Like, I'm sure majority of you guys probably already know this. Just doing your Imperial Cooking, your farming, nets you a decent chunk of money every day. But I completely ignored that. I didn't get into Imperial Cooking until like 5 months into the game. It was bad. Maybe actually 3 to 4 months. But Imperial Cooking and farming, I was like completely sleeping on. We'll go over farming, we'll go over Imperial Cooking, because those are the 2 things I would recommend anyone. Of course, the Worker Empire as well. So that's like my holy trinity of passive income, right? But every new player should start putting that together, should start working on it, because it's something that you build up over time. Like a Worker Empire isn't something that you can pay to win through and get it immediately. It does take a little bit of time to get, but once it's ready and going, then you'll have a pretty big army over here to gather materials for you. It's a passive income. All I have to do is feed them and we're good. What do you recommend after finishing the season pass? So from my experience with seasons, they usually start at a early graduation, like 1 month into the season. So generally, if you're done with season pass, you work on gearing up, get full pen Tuvala Gear, and then you can graduate and you're pretty much done here, right? But not everyone's going to be doing early graduation, especially if you're new. This game has a lot of depth to it. There's a lot of little things that you need to learn, which you pick up along the way after playing for a long period of time. My number 1 tip is, if you're a new player, get yourself a guild. A guild is really important, because this is a game which is very solo oriented. So you need that social interaction. You'll have people to help you out, and it helps you get into this game. Who does not know how to set up your farm? Anyone here want to learn how to set up your farm and get into Imperial Cooking? So like, the reason why I bring those 2 up is because it gives you a steady amount of cash on a daily basis and allows new players to have a little bit of cash to play around with. In seasonals, you don't have to worry about gear and stuff, so you're not spending it on gear, you're spending it on quality of life stuff, to do life skilling and just other stuff, because you need money in this game. A passive income? Yeah, dude. It's like my holy trinity is Worker Empire, farming, Imperial Cooking. Worker Empire is something you build over a long period of time. Farming takes 1 to 2 days to set up. Imperial Cooking, you can do it even quicker. All right, we'll go through this. Let's knock this out one by one. Let's talk about how to set up your farm, okay? So if you're gonna start off farming, the first thing you're gonna have to do is find the fence vendor. So if you type in fence here, you get a bunch of options, right? So what you're gonna need is a strong fence. Those cost 10 contribution points each, right? You need 100 contribution points, and it is worth every bit of it because it gives you steady income. It's very easy to set up. For me, it took me a day, but if you're playing, you know, like a normal human being, you can do it within 1 to 2 days. Let's go to Heidel. I'll show you where you buy the fence, and that'll get you started off, and then we'll talk a little bit more about some of the other details. All right, where is this dude at? There he is. All right. This is the guy we need to talk to. So you click chat and you go to rent strong fence. It takes 10 contribution points and you need 10 of these. So that's why I said you need 100 contribution points. You can do it with less, you just make less money, so why bother, right? And it takes longer to level up your farming. So get 10 fences here, and then you can drop it in multiple places. You can put it like here near Heidel, but personally I put it right next to Logia farm, and there's an NPC there. I just easily run through and sell my seeds and stuff. Farming is one of the life skills I 100% recommend you have a farming alt. I know you're playing on your season character, don't worry about it. You can log into a farming alt to do your farming run and go back to playing on your season. The reason is you don't want to constantly have to go to your farm every time you need to do a farm run. So these are my farms. The way you want to level up is you want to go to your marketplace. You want to buy mushrooms or anything special. So like you got to decide which crop you're going to grow for cash. I do special hump mushrooms. You can do different ones depending on your schedule. For example, I used to do special hot peppers when I got too lazy to do my farm runs, because each farm run takes me, I'd say, about 2 minutes right now. So if you want to start farming, you just have to get some special seeds, like any of these seeds, but decide which one you want to start growing for cash. Like I do mushrooms, right? So I do hump mushrooms. So I bought a bunch of these special hump mushroom hypha, and then I just planted all of these fences with 10 each. So you have 10 in each one. Then what happens is, right now I have workers on all my fences. When you're leveling up your farming, you don't want to have workers on it. So you just put down your fences, you plant your seeds. To plant your seed, press R, and then your seeds will pop up here. You drag and drop, or just press 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on the number which pops up on top of the seed. Those are the hotkeys. So you can press that button, click on the ground, press spacebar, you have it planted. And then every once in a while, you want to log into your farming alt, and you want to just check the farms. You'll see the bars, instead of yellow, it'll show up as red. Then you have to either prune or remove pests. Press those buttons, you get XP for farming. And yeah, you just level up all the way till Artisan 1. Once you're at Artisan 1, you're good to go. Because at Artisan 1, whenever you use breed on one of these plants, there's multiple options. Harvest will harvest the plant for the resources, the material. Like for example, mushrooms will give me mushrooms, right? If you have special hot peppers, you get special hot peppers in your inventory. By doing breed, what you're doing is you're getting more seeds out of it. It's an RNG chance, 1 to 3 seeds. But there's a chance of them being magical once you're Artisan 1. So everything I have planted here are magic seeds. These take up 5 slots. Instead of being able to plant 10 plants here, I can only plant 2, but they scale the same amount. You get the same amount of resources. It's just easier to manage. It saves you a lot of time. Once you have the farm set up, you can start, making upwards to like 50 to 75 mil a day easily if you're, casual. If you're really gung-ho and you hit all your farm runs right off cooldown, then you can make more. So the reason why I use mushrooms is they have a quicker growth cycle. Some crops take like 4 hours, 4.5 hours or something. These take like 3 hours about. If you water and fertilize the soil, it'll be even quicker, but I don't care. I'm okay with that schedule. So basically every day in the morning before I start work, I do a farm run. At lunch, I do a farm run. During my afternoon break at like 3 or 3:30, I do a farm run. After work, I'll do a farm run. After dinner, I do a farm run. And by then I have a lot of money at hand. Now, I make about 70 to 100 mil a day farming, but I hit a lot of the cycles. Decide the crop based on your schedule. You don't want to constantly be thinking, oh man, I got to do another run. If you don't have the time, you don't have to have the time. You can do like hot peppers or something, make it easier on yourself. Let's talk about Imperial Cooking next. So this is my cooking alt, right? So let's see if there's any turns. This is already all turned in. So this number on the side means how many people can turn in. So like If I turned in 177 of this, it would take the number down by 177, and other players will see the same amount of quantity. So you're kind of rushing towards here on every Imperial reset. I think it resets every 4 hours or something. It periodically resets throughout the day, and you go turn in. Basically, how you make these Imperial boxes is once you have enough, I'll show you how to decide which item to do as well. So once you have a high enough cooking level, all you do is press L, go to Imperial Cuisine over here, and select your item and press start. And your character will start packing them into these boxes. Right now I'm making the Guru box, so there we go. You take that, you turn in, make sure you have your mastery gear on. You have your seafood cron meal to have as high mastery as possible. Right now, I don't have any life skill gear, so excuse this noob number here. But you know, it increases the amount, like it increases the profit. Even with this noob gear, 36.5%. That's a lot of money, right? So how you decide is we can use Valia In for this. That's the tool I use. So here we go. We're at valiain.com. On top, you go to Imperial and you see all the meals here. So you enter your mastery. You enter your CP, your quantity at least means like when it's searching here, there's going to need to be a minimum amount of items for it to show up. So I put like 3,000. So it only shows the things with decent stock. And you select if you're apprentice, professional, or whatever. Let's use some small numbers here. Let's say you only have 500 mastery. You have 200 contribution points. And your professional cooking. Professional is really easy to get. You can get it within an hour. Now you look at all the items here. Look at pickled veggies. You can make a total of 27 million in profit every day just by buying these off the marketplace. So all you have to do is buy them off the marketplace, and then you just have to pack them into boxes and turn them in. But pickled veggies are very easy to make yourself. So you can actually cook it yourself, earn cooking experience by cooking pickled veggies, and then you're also using them to turn in. So you're making decent money. This is just what professional. You can get professional very easily in one day of trying as a brand new player new to the game, learning the ways and everything. You can get this really easily. So professional is very easy to get. And by the time you're at Guru, as you saw, like let's say you're a life skiller, you have maybe 1200 cooking mastery. You have, let's say, 350 contribution points. You can make 90 mil of profit a day just by buying the meals off the marketplace, making them into boxes and turning in. This is such a quick thing to do. What I normally do is whenever I'm like, you know, passively watching something on TV or something, you know, I just have a huge supply of these and I just sit here AFKing on my character, let the character AFK for a few minutes and just pack all the boxes. And I usually have a 1 week's worth of supply ready to go. So then I just log in and within less than a minute, I turn in everything. So that's why I like Kama Sylvia. I can just run back and forth here between these two NPCs and we're done. So it's really quick. Even if you're just doing pickled veggies, that's like daily cash, like easy cash you earn every day. Okay, let's recap. As a new player playing seasonals, you want to establish ways to make money. By the time you're entering the main game, you want to be able to, you know, buy a few items, you know, make a little bit of cash, save up money. So my holy trinity of passive income, I've been preaching this for over a year. Number 1, farming. Number 2, Imperial Cooking. Number 3, your worker empire. For your worker empire, I don't think I need to explain it in depth right now, but I can give you the guide for that. So you can just follow this down to the T. The only difference is back then when I made this guide, we didn't have Odalita, which I haven't even been to yet. Shows you my dedication to exploring the game. I've been there on the global lab, so I've seen the place. But basically there is a cooking node there you can get. But other than that, it's still 100% up to date. You can use that. Follow it down to the T if you want. And once you understand a bit more about the game, once you're more familiar with cooking and various other life skills, then you can decide what you want to actually go farm or, you know, what you want to put your workers on. And remember, whatever you do, whether it's gathering, whether it's farming, using your worker empire, the most amount of money comes from actually utilizing those items to make into other items through cooking or alchemy or something else. Well, alchemy is not very profitable. That's a different story. That's for another day. But using the items that you gather and turning them into other stuff, that's going to make you the big money, the billions, you know? But you can still NPC it for some quick cash. Like, nothing wrong with that. So, as a new player, by the time your season ends, here are things that you want to do. Number 1, you want to get all your Tuvala Gear to pen. So not the accessories. You can use Kaposha accessories, but your helmet, your chest piece, your gloves, your shoes, main hand, sub weapon, and your awakening weapon. Definitely get those to pen because those are equivalent of TET gears in normal game. TET gears are quite expensive. For example, this armor is the equivalent of Tuvala, and a TET one costs almost 2 billion, 2.1 billion. Look at that. Pen Tuvala is a lot cheaper. You'll save a lot of money there. Seasonals cannot use capotias. I'm talking about what kind of gear you want to get before you exit seasonals, before you graduate. So some people were asking me, hey, do I have to get Pen Tuvala necklace? It's really hard. It's failing a lot. You don't have to. Getting those will benefit you while you're in the season server. You can take advantage of season server. You can go grind there without people flagging up on you. But if you don't want to worry about that, if you don't want the headache of actually enhancing accessories, you can skip it. You want to get your gear. You want to learn the game. The game it has a lot of depth, and the most amazing thing about BDO is that it gives you so much freedom. You can do whatever you want in BDO. You don't have to follow the quest line. You can do the quest for the rewards. The rewards are pretty good. But if you're in seasonal, you don't really need those rewards, you know? Like, you can use those quest gear for a new seasonal character next time around, so that's kind of useful. But overall, gear up, learn the game, explore the game, try everything, because I didn't know that I liked life skilling until I tried it out. And then I did life skilling for 3 months straight without stopping. So explore everything. And then when it comes to making money, set up your passive incomes. So like, even if a day is gone just questing, you're still making money on the side. You're still getting money from your farm runs. You're getting money from your Imperial turn-ins. Your workers are hustling. So make sure by the time you're done with seasonal servers, you set up your passive incomes. Moving on. In terms of gear progression, obviously Tuvala is going to be the best thing you can equip on your characters in seasonal. But one important thing that people forget is while you're on seasonal server, you can also be working on something else to increase your AP. Those are your adventure logs. For example, Bartali log, Thieves log. Those are really easy to do. It's just time consuming, but you can definitely get those done while you're on seasonal. A lot of these other logs also give you DP and various other stats, so you can do those to get, you know, a bit tankier and a bit stronger to tackle those end game spots, like for example, Star's End in seasonal. That's like the ultimate flex. Like, I'm grinding Star's End. Hey, don't you hate when people flag up on you? Huh, I grind on seasonal. No one can flag up on me. But yeah. All right, so we went over passive income if you're a new player. Do your full season pass so you'll be able to graduate early. So graduation is like your way of getting out of seasonals early. So if you're done with seasonals, you want to go be a normal character, use normal gear and stuff, you can quit midway. They usually release it 1 month into seasons, where there's some requirements. You have to do X amount of stuff in order to graduate. And then later they let everyone graduate whenever, until the end of season where you're forced to graduate. If you're a new player, make sure you do all the quests for your pets. If you go to O and go to suggested, you can find like different suggested stuff. I already did mine. So like, you'll see different things like inventory expansion. All these quests give you inventory slots. Do all of these quality of life stuff. You get free pets here. Make sure you do these. Pets are important. Make sure you do whatever requirement they give you for your pen, Kaposha accessory, or whatever reward they're giving us this time around. I know unofficially they said pen necklace, but let's see, let it happen, and then we can talk about it. Now, one last thing. People are going to be wondering what item I should buy after you exit seasonal. I'll leave you with this one simple tip. I don't want to overload you guys if you're new to the game with information, but here's how you calculate your new upgrades. So there are something called your AP and DP brackets, right? So these are your AP and DP brackets, right? So this is something you want to keep in mind. If you're upgrading, the number one rule is going to be the cost per AP. So let's say my next upgrade is a ring which costs 6 billion silver, and that gives me 5 more AP. Or I can upgrade to a weapon which gives me 3 more AP for X amount of silver. You can do the math by dividing the cost of the item divided by how much AP you're earning. You usually want to go for the cheapest amount, and that's usually the progression, unless you're going for a bracket. If you're 5 AP away from a bracket, but your next cost for AP item, the cheapest item, is going to be a 3 AP item, you might as well save up a little bit extra and get that 5 AP item and hit an important bracket. Like, for example, once you're at 261 with a Kudum, the amount of bonus you're getting from this AP, it starts scaling up until it starts dropping again at 269. 269 is one of the golden numbers. This is when you like get to the point where you're starting to make like decent money from grinding. Do the math, see which is the cheapest upgrade in terms of per AP, but keep in mind your AP and DP brackets as well. So once you're out of seasonal server, what you want to start focusing on is upgrading your gear. So like you can save up quite a bit of cash on seasonal, and now you want to start buying your next upgrades and stuff. So keep that in mind. But for the most part, you know, explore the game. If you're new to the game, welcome to BDO. This is definitely an S tier game in my opinion. In terms of all the MMORPGs out there, it gives you a lot of freedom. I know the cash shop can seem a little bit expensive, but I know many players who spent minimal amount of cash on this game and still play the game to the fullest extent. And the game doesn't hold you back. It doesn't say, hey, unless you pay this amount of money, you're not going to get to the next level. No, you can get the best gear in the game even playing free to play. The most important thing is have fun with this game. It's a beautiful game. It literally looks beautiful. Like the graphics, I still can't get over it. No MMORPG looks this nice and has combat this awesome. Like it's fast paced, it's engaging, looks great.